Whose absence still echoes through me is a really good question. What do I fear will happen if someone leaves now? And feel that. And a part of what you keep hearing us say, feel that, we are also doing an assessment of, can you feel that? Because if you can't, is there disassociation that's turned off some of that needs to be addressed in kind of a different way as well. But feel that, reframing, they left because of their capacity, not my worth.
Welcome to Reforged, a podcast by the Authentic Masculinity Project, a place where we have raw conversation about modern masculinity, capacity, complexity, integration, and authenticity.
How does someone heal from an abandonment wound? Well, I mean, it's a multi-layered process because we all have many layers. And, one of the first parts of that is an individual has to actually be able to name that that's what they have. And when you name something, it begins to lose some of its power. That's really one of the reasons why we wrote why the Authentic Masculinity Project put out the Mask book, because it gives an assessment that helps us identify which of the 35 kind of core wounds that it identifies that we have, and then kind of how did it manifest. And so when we go back to abandonment, we need to understand what the wound really is. Like, because abandonment isn't just someone leaving, it's what the body felt in that moment. I'm not safe when I'm alone. That sensation becomes an unconscious kind of operating system replayed through adulthood. And there are some key symptoms, anxiety when not in control of closeness, hypervigilance or preemptive withdrawal, right? In order to control that feeling. Shame spiral, I must not be enough to stay for, overfunctioning in relationships to prevent loss. These are all different combinations. So, like, one of the things that we want to encourage is that we need to regulate before we reason. Like, you can't talk a limbic wound out of panic. So we have to start with the body. We always start with the body. And tools that work are parasympathetic breathing. We've gone over that before. Tapping, EFT, even though I feel abandoned, I'm safe in this moment. If you don't know what EFT is, my God, there's thousands of videos on it on YouTube. Somatic or somatorespiratory integration, somatoprocessing. In SRI, especially stages 2 or 3, feel the energy of the separation without judgment, whatever that is. Like, imagine yourself being separated and then be with it without judgment. Judgment meaning without pushing or pulling anything away, and just allowing yourself to be in that moment to basically restructure and retrain your neural system. And then some grounding touch can really help, like hand to chest, hand to abdomen, like feel the wave of breath between the two, going from one spot to another. And the goal is to teach the body that aloneness does not equal annihilation. And we need to unpack, the internal story. I mean, first we hit the body, but then you do have to work with the story a little bit. Once regulated, explore the meaning your mind made at the time of the wound. And the time of the wound might have been when you were in a crib being abandoned without hippocampal volume to remember something. So you have to work with the neural system. So often you can put subjective stories even there. So sometimes there's video memories and sometimes there's not. But we can prompt in different ways, like, what did I decide about myself when I was left? And sit with that, and just imagine your subjective consciousness can still create a cascade of neurological activity that you can then be with and deal with. Whose absence still echoes through me is a really good question. What do I fear will happen if someone leaves now? And feel that. And a part of what you keep hearing us say, feel that, we are also doing an assessment of, can you feel that? Because if you can't, is there disassociation that's turned off some of that needs to be addressed in kind of a different way as well. But feel that, reframing, they left because of their capacity, not my worth. And that really is the truth. It's just that that's a negative cognition to where I know this is true, but it doesn't feel true. Well, where do I feel that it doesn't feel true in the body? That's our work. That's our somatic work. So we want to repair the attachment template that's been working in us. Healing happens through new relational experiences. You go have a new experience that you don't experience insecure attachment the same way, and you begin trusting that there is a way that you can actually thrive in. So in practice, we need to seek consistent, safe connection. You can work with a therapist, a coach, a partner, or a friend. Anything not discussed is never addressed. And when fear of abandonment rises, name it instead of acting it out. A part of me feels like you're going to leave. I just want to name that so I can stay present. Each time you stay connected while feeling the fear, the brain rewires for trust. And so we need to reparent the inner child. And the abandonment wound is often a child waiting for someone to come back. Someone was never there. So try this. Visualize the younger self at the moment of being left. Sit with them. Don't fix. Don't fix. Just stay. Say, I'm here now. You don't have to wait anymore. And repeat it daily until your body believes it. Now, I've heard people talk about this. Oh, I don't want to do inner child work. Well, we're not asking you to reach into the cage to grab the wounded animal. It'll bite your hand off. But we're also asking you not to abandon it again, for you not to abandon you. So these key words that you just heard us say, don't fix, stay. Stay, just stay. And that just staying, that presence of yourself with yourself, it is a balm. It has an ability to restructure new boundaries of how you hold you. So we want to integrate these boundaries in self-sourcing. True healing ends the loop of chasing reassurance. And the practice is to self-soothing before reaching out to grasp that dependency, because that's one of the biggest coping mechanisms for abandonment is dependency of individuals, dependency in relationship, dependency of substance. Building an earned security, you learn that you can regulate and return to safety. So boundaries, and you'll hear us talk about these things over and over again, boundaries that protect your nervous system, not punish others. Because when we punish others, it's not about us, it's about them. We're trying to coerce behavior. We're trying to force. A boundary is about what I allow, not about what someone else does, about what I allow, which includes both the things the toxic behavior that I won't allow within my realm, but it also includes the things that I want to receive in my realm, and learning how to communicate those things. So in spiritual kind of energetic integration, I mean, I would offer the lens of Vedic language. Like, this is a Rahu Ketu theme. Rahu wants connection, Ketu wants freedom. So healing is finding unity between these two poles, learning that connection without self-loss is possible. So a meditation phrase maybe to sit with would be, I am safe in my own presence. I am never truly abandoned when I am with myself.
Thank you for listening to Reforged. Remember to like and subscribe for more.